Hey, Bushmaster Trapper 1 here. I'm gonna do a review on the Victorinox Huntsman. First of all, let's do a quick rundown on the tools. First of all, you got a large spear blade. This is great for opening boxes, opening letters. It's not as best for cutting rope. For cutting rope, you're gonna want serrations, but it's gonna work fine. Right there you can see Victorinox. I'm not sure if you can see it through this camera, but it says that, and if it says that, you know it's a real Victorinox. You got a nice mirror polish. You can see me and my camera through there. You can't really see me, but you can see the camera. It's stainless steel, so it's not gonna rust. That mirror polish also helps it. It's not gonna rust, but being stainless steel, it'll take an edge very, very well. It's because it's softer steel, it's gonna take an edge and it's easier to sharpen. But also being softer, it's not gonna hold an edge as long, so that may be a problem for you. Second, we have a smaller spear blade. Again, it's going to take an edge really, really well. It's just not going to hold an edge as well. But it is very sharp once you get it. It makes a great, great secondary blade. It's great for doing detailed work. It's great for doing detailed work. Again, it's just a great secondary blade. Next, we have our saw. It's a pretty thin saw, but I like it like that because I find that thinner saws cut much better. It has a zigzag pattern, but also because it's thin, it's a little flexible. So you could snap that off if you really wanted to. Again, it's not going to rust. It's great for cutting notches. This is probably, on this multi-tool by me, the second most, I use this the most, except for the knife. The knife I use the most, the blade I use the most, but this comes in second. Very nice, good for cutting notches. It's not going to cut metal, but it's going to cut any wood you want it to. Great, great saw. It is a little short though. Next, we have scissors. The scissors are great because they're nice and big, they're beefy, they're going to cut almost anything. And here we'll just test it on this paper. See, that worked well. A couple problems. First of all, this spring is pretty weak, so you could bend it, or you could it could get caught in there and bend if you push too far. But Victorinox does sell this on their website. Also, another problem is that this pin right there, that gets very, very stiff, so you're going to need to oil it up. You're going to need to oil it up every once in a while. Big tip. Next tool, we have a cap lifter. The cap lifter works great. The problem is most bottles have twist-off caps now, so it's a bait. So you're not going to use it as much. But it does work fine. Then there is, you got your screwdriver, but because of that mirror polish, it is going to be a little slippery. It still works fine. Then that, which the wire stripper, this wire stripper works okay, but if you have wire that's too thick a gauge for it, it's not going to work. And it is a very small wire stripper. I'm sure it does have some light duty prying capabilities, but I wouldn't go too heavy on it. You don't want it to snap on you. Even though I did hear that they're really great with their warranty. Next one, you got your can opener. The Victorinox can opener is my favorite can opener there is. On any Swiss Army knife or multi-tool, because it's nice. Out of the box, you could use it for getting like a squirrel or rabbit or something small, because that is sharpened. And because of that, being sharpened like that, you get an extra tool. You got a mini screwdriver. And again, because of that mirror polish right there, it's not, that might be a little slippery when you go in to do any work. It's gonna slip a little bit. But overall, it's very nice. You got your corkscrew. Which in my case is sort of useless. With a lot of people it's not, but I just find it to be a little useless. Now what they did do on some of their models, Victorinox, not the Huntsman, but some of them come with this, it's a little eyeglass screwdriver, and with me that would have been really handy because I wear glasses, so I could use that because the screws are always popping out. But you can't, but I think they do sell them on their website again. Like they sell a lot of things, they sell those on their website, and that would fit in, and that would still fit pretty okay, and that would still fit fine. Next, you have your multi-purpose hook or parcel carrier. I see what it's for, but it also fits in with that useless tools category. But I do hear that it's good for pulling, for holding buckets and or pulling wire through things, rope. What it's really made for is the main idea was that if you have like a parcel wrapped in brown paper, you know, the kind brown paper with string, you can grab that a lot more comfortably with that T-handle than you would just be able to just trying to carry it yourself. Another point is, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the main reason why they'd probably add a corkscrew is because in Sweden and other parts of Europe, they're more heavier wine drinkers than us in the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what I've heard. Another problem is, as this just did, that the key ring gets caught into that under the hook sometimes. Then you have this. This acts as an awl because of that sharp tip. That's really works great. Just drilling holes. Then it's also a leather punch because it's sharpened like that. But it's not too sharp because I'm not cutting myself and I'm putting a decent amount of pressure. And you can also use it as a reamer or a leather, and you can sew leather because of that little hole. That's very convenient. And also, I don't think you can see it, but that's a little bit blunter on that because sometimes when this is in, this will fall right on that and hit it, and it'll blunt it up. Then you have your key ring. I've never really used it because I find that this is too big to really put on a set of keys. I would never put it on a set of keys. But some people do. I just happen to not do that. But it would be nice to put a lanyard through. Let's set this aside while I put the old tweezers. These are great, and even though they're okay to do for splinters and stuff, I wish they were more on like an angle right here. They were like cut at an angle. That way they were a little sharper to dig in more to get your splinters out. But again, it's great for, and also these tweezers and toothpick, you're not always going to need it, but it's good to have it. Just like these two useless tools. I mean, even though I do think that they could have been replaced with something a little bit more useful, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Also, these toothpick. This is a great toothpick. A lot of people don't like it because they think it's unsanitary, but I find that it's fine as long as you clean it. If you don't clean it, it's just disgusting. But if you clean it, it works great. The one problem is, as you use it, that gets blunter and blunter and blunter, and that gets sort of bent. But you can buy replacement ones on their website, on Victorinox's website. Another thing is these handle scales. I was really lucky because I was able to get them in camouflage, which I think is really, really awesome. Not many of them were sold in camouflage. There are a couple that they make with camouflage, but they no longer make the Huntsman in camouflage. Correct me if I'm wrong. Very nice. I like this, but the one downside is that with like a red handle scales or the black handle scales, you have the plastic is actually that color. It's just that color plastic. This is painted on that sort of beige color plastic. So it rubs off in the pocket. You can definitely tell I carry it for a long time. This was my EDC knife for a long time. I got it when I was like 10 years old from my parents for Christmas. Has a lot of sentimental value to me. I will never get rid of it for that exact reason. Also, the Huntsman happens to be my favorite model of Victorinox, simply because it has just the right amount of tools that I use and I need, and it's not too thick. Once it starts getting thicker, this way, thicker than it's wide, than it is tall, wider than it is tall. Which is slightly, but once it gets more than this, it's really a pain. It's just like, it's uncomfortable to carry. It's uncomfortable to carry in the pocket. It just doesn't work as well. Anyway, I love this Swiss Army knife. It's my favorite. It's by Victorinox. I feel that Victorinox and Wenger, they're the best makers of Swiss Army knives you can get. Overall, great Swiss Army knife, my favorite, and that's Bushmaster Trapper 1's review on the Victorinox Huntsman. Bushmaster Trapper 1 out.